Hey guys, walking over to the barnwood pile. I found a beam post. Well, I guess it depends on how you put it on there, but I found a post that I want to use for the tiny house on wheels next to the stairwell. And then we can start putting some extra weight upstairs. I'm going to build us a cabinet for storing our clothes and stuff and really get that weight off the loft and transfer to the floor. By the way, you may notice there's no snow. It's funny that no matter what happens in the world and on the homestead, it's my fault. And I mentioned that I asked someone to take care of the greenhouse for us when we were gone, and it's my fault. Some people said, well, there's snow on the ground and how dare you expect. Well, if somebody says yes, then yes, and no means no. And there is no snow, by the way, but regardless, if somebody says I'm going to help you out, they should do it, and if they don't want to or can't, then say no. Or contact us and find an alternative. So it's amazing to see that it's always my fault. But you know, we have a homestead and we have work to do. We have animals to care for. The animals were cared for. That was first and foremost priority, so they were fine. But the you know, the greenhouse died, and I'm sad. You know, everybody would be sad after such a project. But anyway, this is how it is. So I've got, here we are. I'm trying to get my bearings here in the barnwood pile. I've got a post I dragged out. I've got to pry off the 2-inch thick boards that are on both sides of it, on two sides of it, and then I can cut it to fit and clean it off, and we'll have ourselves a nice support for the loft and a good what's it called, a banister or whatever you want to call it for the stairwell. So let me put my tools down, get my camera going, and let's get this apart, if I can get it apart. Now I don't even know if I can get this apart at all. So I've got 2 pry bars and my big old dead-on hammer. Let's see what we can do with this thing. I'm hoping that I can get enough leverage on this to pry it apart. I don't know. I don't know if there's a pipe dream. I mean, this is some serious heavy wood and some serious heavy nails. Trying to pry that next to that nail. I might end up just jamming these inside this wood and not get anywhere. I don't know. I need a big heavy-duty crowbar, I think. I don't know, I've never done this before. I've not, to this day, I haven't really attempted to pry any boards apart like this, not this big. I've got something going on right here. So anyway, I'm gonna work at it a bit and see if it's even possible. Might be best with a sawzall, but I don't have a blade that long to get in there and cut those nails either. So gotta figure this out. Well, that'll be the one. These are flimsy tools for this. I don't have anything to pull out a nail that big or to put any pressure on that. So I spent the last hour prying out a beautiful, beautiful beam. Really nice. And I'm going to take it over the workbench and cut it. And then take it into the tiny house on wheels. That's beautiful. And it's mostly clean and dry too. It was deep up inside this pile. It took me a while to get to it. But there it is. So I'm going to end up using the sawzall probably to cut it to fit. That's going to be nice. Cleaned, oiled, and in the tiny house on wheels. That'll be really nice. So let me get it over to the workbench. I'm using a circular saw. I'm on my 4th cut. I'm using a circular saw to try to get a straight cut, and I'm going to use the reciprocating saw to finish it. crooked somehow. Well, so this old beast will hopefully finish the job neatly. Old wood doesn't have straight edges, so it's really hard to get a straight, perfect cut without a proper table saw or something. I'm using a half exhausted blade, so I'm working it a little bit different than I normally should. That's why I'm working the tip. You may notice, I don't know if you notice or not, but I'm working the tip of the blade more. There it is. Alright, now I've got to clean it off, and then we can take them aside. Poor Melanie's been waiting on lunch, but I said I'm not going to eat until I finish this project and get this in place inside the tiny house on wheels. So, just a little bit of sawdust and filth on it. I'll have to sweep it before it actually goes in. And probably old dust. Ancient dust. Even these nails are tough. There's really dense old wood. Wow. Yeah, it broke. In or out, I don't care which way. I'm gonna go in. Okay. The problem with bringing an old board in a house like this, without planing it or anything special, is it's gonna bring some dirt in, some dust. I'm going to try to sweep it as good as I can. Beautiful old piece of wood. Okay. We'll give it a sweep down and we'll take this thing in there and set it in place. Well, I got the post in here. Which side is out? This side. I hope I cut it right, because you don't go back and change it once you've cut this big a board. Well, there it is. I just got to fasten it in place now. So there's that. Baby cat's checking things out. She's like, there's something new. And I'm going to experiment with exactly where I position it so we can still get in and out around the stairwell. And there's the original barnwood post holding the loft dead center in the catwalk. It served me well. So, I think we're going to have lunch before I go ahead and put that in permanent place. But there it is, guys. Well, baby cat likes it. What do you think, Melanie? Does it look okay?
Yeah.
When it's oiled, see how this one's darker and oiled? Mm-hmm. That's what that one's going to look like. When it's oiled, it's going to darken up and you'll see the wood grain, and I think it'll be beautiful. And we can hang stuff on it.
No.
No. Okay, well, so much for that idea. Anyway, there it is. Lunchtime. Well, there it is, everybody. Now Melanie's got to find a new place for her trunk, which was always right there. But there it is. Straight. I haven't secured it yet. I haven't fastened it in place because it's going to shrink as it dries, and I want to wait and see if I need to put any a wedge or anything underneath it after it dries. I might just put a screw here and there to keep it from falling, but there it is. I think it looks alright. Melanie says it's alright. So I've measured it from the walls in all directions to make sure it's straight up and down with the house. With winter being on, I don't know if the house is level or anything, so I didn't go with level. I went with measurements from the walls in all directions and got it straight that way with the house. Every spring we have to re-level off everything into the house because of the mud. But there's one project done for today. I'm going to rest a little bit because that was heavy. That was a tree. What do you think, Felix? You know, you want Baby Cat to say, okay, Baby Cat, what do you think? I am building a cabinet over the stairwell. And the cats are, well, Felix is just watching. Felix is so pretty. Baby Cat's got to check everything out. So I've built a 44 by 22 shelf unit right over the stairwell. Fits right in there where there's the barnwood post that we just put in, and that'll hold any weight that I can throw at it now, and that's going to hold all of our clothes. So I've got to go out. I didn't record anything at all. I was just flying through trying to beat the daylight, and these were actually pallets a little while ago. If I had had time, oh boy, would have made some good video today. A lot of video, but I just had to knock it out really fast, because these were, I mean, I took apart the pallets today, knocked out the nails. You can see the nail holes in these boards. So I did that today, and boy, my ears are ringing. If you're knocking out nails out of wood, you got to have some hearing protection. I tell you what, that is some loud work. So I'm going to go out and cut 2 pieces of plywood sheet and drop them in, and we'll have ourselves a shelving unit, a big set of shelves. Oh, I'm going to put 2 more. I'm going to put cross bracing in the middle of each shelf, and then we can start loading it up. So tiny house needs storage. A lot of people think you got to really downsize, and you do to some extent, but being married in a tiny house and we each have our crafts and our hobbies, there's no reason to give that up. No reason to give up your life. We just need storage. And there it is. Well, guys, there it is. New set of shelves. I still have to, I don't know if you can notice in the corner, it's a little bit warped. It'll settle down with weight. Baby Cat approved. It is Baby Cat approved. So, I gotta put sides on it and doors. Keep the, well, obviously, keep the cats out. Right, Fuzzy? Huh? We don't want the cats in there. She's like, wow, this is cool. I can watch Melanie in the kitchen through the stairway. She's looking down through the stair slats. There, Fuzzy. She likes it. She won't be liking it when I fill it. So, it's rugged, it's sturdy, and it's perfect. Built to fit the house. And it's not bolted in, so I can take it out if I need to. Well, guys, Wednesday today, got church, so I think I'm going to load the shelves, put our stuff away, and get ready to go. Unless something comes up, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World, and what's her name down there?
Melanie.
Melanie. Little Mouse said Melanie. Talk to you all later.